great big good Saturday morning to you. Welcome now to Country Music on the Rooster Creek Show. Today's show is sent your way courtesy of Baumgartner Furniture of Oz, Semo Rental Equipment Company of Fulton, Pulis Plumbing and Heating of Mexico, Missouri, Wright Brothers General Merchandise of Calwood, Dymeke Ford Sales of Centralia, and W.A. Roots and Company at Tibbetts. Hip! Oh, hell! Good morning to you, everybody. Welcome now to Country Music on the Rooster Creek Show. For the next, about 30 minutes or so, we invite you to join us. We'd like to start things rolling with an old-timer called John Henry. It goes something like this. Well, John Henry was a little bitty boy, no bigger than the palm of your hand. His mammy looked down at old Johnny and said, Johnny gonna be a steel driving man. Lord, Lord, Johnny gonna be a steel driving man. Well, John Henry had a loving little wife. Her name was Polly Ann. Henry took sick in the middle of the night. Polly drove steel like a man, Lord, Lord. Polly drove steel like a man. Oh, come in there, Beast Boy. Well, the captain, he said, John Henry, Lord, I think that mountain's caving in. Henry just laughed at the captain and said, ain't nothing but my hammer sucking wind. Lord, Lord, nothing but my hammer sucking wind. Oh, yeah. Well, John Henry said to the water boy, bring that bucket around. If you don't like your job out here, set that bucket down. Lord, Lord, set that bucket down. Set now. Well, they buried John Henry by the railroad track. 6 feet they laid him in the sand. Now every time when a train goes buffing by, Lord, there lies a steel driving man. Lord, 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 there lies that steel driving man. All righty, old John Henry there. Whew. Man, that even worked Osborne Bradley over there this morning, you know that? I'm telling you, those fine sounds made in the background there on that 5-string banjo.
Ron, that song you were singing kind of reminds me of something.
Well, what's that?
That kind of reminds me out there at Semo Rental.
Semo.
Right, Semo.
For a second
Semo
week in a
Rental.
row, you're getting ahead of yourself, aren't you?
I think he's crossed that, right?
I think he is too, Bill.
Yeah, you got them arrows drawn too.
That's right. That's all it is. Well, we'll just talk about Semo then. That's on Highway 54 South Fulton for all your dirt work, for all your pond cleaning out and digging, for all your terraces, your trench silos, and for all your ponds. Well, you drop by and see good buddy Jack Wheeler out at Semo Rental Equipment Company, Old Ryle and Old Sweet. If you need parts for any heavy equipment, any maker, any model, you go out to Seymour, Highway 54 south in Fulton. Seymour Rental and Equipment Company. That's good buddy Jack Wheeler and all the gang out there. They have parts that'll fit any make or any model of heavy equipment. Seymour Rental, Highway 54 south in Fulton. Right, Mr. Beast?
Right, Ron. Them guys really drive a lot of steel out there.
They are steel driving men for sure.
Sure.
Out at Seymour Rental. Now getting back to our program this morning, we'd like to feature our next gentleman here, who I'm sure you've noticed in the background on that 5-string banjo. He hails from down St. Louis, Missouri way and records for the Shannon folks. And we're just as pleased as punch to have him up here with us this morning, Mr. John Hartford. John, old buddy, it's my pleasure to have you here on the program this morning. How about doing one of your own choosing this morning, buddy?
One called the Smokehouse Break.
The Smokehouse Breakdown is fine. I'm telling you, the old Rooster Creek's really hopping this
Why are
morning.
you talking? That rooster's cutting away, ain't he?
What was Tennessee Ernie said on that commercial for Ford the other day? He said, I'm as excited as a new rooster in the hen house.
Yes.
I thought of you then, Seth.
Oh, boy.
Because I thought there's something more exciting, and that's an old rooster in a new hen house.
That's right. I'll make it, boy.
Okay, that brings us down to Baumgartner Furniture now. Speaking of old roosters, that's our fine boys up in Avaz, Missouri. Good sponsors, been on with us for years and years and years. Baumgartner Furniture, Highway 54 at the stoplight in Avaz. Emmett, George, and Bob Baumgartner, where you can buy quality furniture at a low rock bottom dollar price. Go by and see old Ugly George or Emmett or Bob and pick out the furniture you like and take it home with you at a low price. Now, they feature nothing but the finest quality in furniture. They have no seconds, no culls, no cast-outs, but they do have quality furniture. Now, don't look for a great big fancy furniture store when you walk in there, because if you do, you won't find it. You're going to be disappointed. It's a plain old everyday country store type building that's just chock full of the best furniture you'll find at the lowest prices. Baumgartners are open every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights till 10 o'clock. They have free delivery within 207 8/10 miles of Avaz. You pay no money down, and you take up to 3 years to pay. Where's this, Seth?
At Avaz?
Baumgartner.
Baumgartner.
Yes, sir, Reed. Baumgartner Furniture, Highway 54 at the stoplight in Avaz. You can't miss them, and for sure
You can't beat 'em.
you can't beat Baumgartners, no sir, Reed. Now we got Mr. Bob Haywood walking up here. He's got a fine tune he'd like to do for you, called "You Don't Think About Me When I'm Gone."
Now you don't think about me when I'm gone. You don't think about me when I'm gone. When I come rolling home with a $10 bill, it's honey, where you been so long? Well, I've been all around this whole wide world. Been down to Memphis, Tennessee, any old place that I hang my hat. It's home, sweet home to me. Now where did you get that dress, little girl? Where'd you get them shoes so fine? Well, I got my dress from a railroad man,
Yes,
and the shoes from the driver.
On top of it, John.
It's honey, baby, honey, when dear. Big nasty man when I'm gone. When I come rolling home with those $10 bills. It's honey, where you been so long? Now you don't think about me when I'm gone, gone, gone. You don't think about me when I'm gone. When I come rolling home with those $10 bills. It's honey, where you been so long? It's honey, where you been so long? Well, I've been all around this whole wide world. Been down to Memphis, Tennessee. And the old place that I hang my hat, it's home, sweet home to me. Now you don't think about me when I'm gone, gone. You don't think about me when I'm gone. When I come rolling home with those $10 bills. It's honey, where you been so long? It's honey, where you been so long?
Oh, mighty fine there, Bob, mighty fine. You don't think about me when I'm gone. Well, I'll tell you something you would think about if it was gone, though, and that was Pulis Plumbing and Heating up in Mexico, Missouri.
What are you talking about?
You know, if old Stanley would just flat pull up out of the country and move to Saskatchewan, Alabama, or someplace, a lot of folks would miss that old boy.
Sure would, buddy.
What I mean, he plays guitar and sings, but I don't mean they'd miss him in that respect. I mean they'd miss him because he's got such fine service on all this heating equipment up there around Mexico in that area. You know, old Stan will go any place and do any kind of job in the plumbing and heating business. Now, Stan, as we mentioned before, no job is too big for Stan, absolutely not, and no job, of course, is too small. Now, maybe a housewife tuned in this morning has got a leaky faucet, something like that, or maybe the water pipes are rattling and knocking and carrying on. Needs a plumber. Well, you call old Stan out there. Or if you've got a brand new house, remodeling done, well, you just call Stan up and say, Stan, get yourself out here and fix my house and put some furnace in here, will you? I'm telling you, I need one of those Lennox cooling and heating systems all installed in one chunk. I don't want it to be any bigger than Seth Bradley because I ain't got room for it.
Wrong, let's eat. How about that? How about
Stan will come right out. Stan's got 6 radio control trucks, Seth. You know that? 6 radio
he got it, boy.
6 radio control trucks. No drivers, just 6 radio control trucks.
Let him go.
Go any place. Pulis Plumbing and Heating. And if you've got plumbing work to be done, if you need a sewer line dug, a basement, anything like that, you get in touch with old Stan Pulis up in Mexico, won't you? Great old boy, and they do the job right for you. They have home heating units, whether you want a combination or a single unit. You get in touch with Stanley. Pulis Plumbing and Heating in Mexico, Missouri. That's our fine friend, Mr. Stan. Coming up the microphone now is our old buddy, our corn-picking friend. Seth, how's your corn coming along? You got your corn all picked and shucked?
Sure.
Well, Pete must have been home this week.
Yeah, well, he's got a little more.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
How about doing an old-time fiddle tune called Sally Gooden for us?
I'm tired, buddy.
Or rock her off first. Mighty fine there, Osborne boy. Mighty fine. The old Sally Gooden. Wright Brothers General Merchandise, Highway Z in Calwood, Missouri. That's good buddy Ted and Madison. Seth, Osborne, Bradley, get yourself up here at the mic. I'll talk to you. What are you talking about? He takes the fire out of it, doesn't he? He just about...
That thing was smoking back there a while ago.
I thought the whole place was on fire.
I thought it burned it clean out the cow, but didn't you?
Why, it almost got that warm.
Sure.
Absolutely it did. You know, Madison went out pheasant hunting out east or out west here a while ago, or last week or two, and he turned the whole operation over to Ted. And Ted's been selling those hush puppy shoes, and that's what we want to mention today is those overshoes you'll find at Wright Brothers General Merchandise in Calwood. Because this cold snap we had here, when was it? Wednesday and Thursday? Friday it turned kind of cool, you know.
Tell me it snowed about Wednesday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wednesday night. It sure did.
Where at?
Well, where you mean, where at? At Rooster Creek.
Oh, I guess it did. I must have been asleep then.
Well, it did. It was awful late in the night. It was about 8 o'clock.
Oh, me. But I could have been asleep at that time, too.
You're already in bed.
Oh,
no
I did,
kidding.
don't know it, you know it.
This is the time of year to outfit the family in the finest overshoes and rubber slip-ons, whether it's for the kids or mom or dad, or the big 4 or 5 buckle Arctics or the gum boots. They've got them all out at Wright Brothers, and we'd sure like for you to stop by there and see Ted or Madison. Also, they've got a fine selection of wood stoves for you. If you need the finest in wood stoves, you see Madison or Ted at Wright Brothers for your king heaters, and of course for those fine new automatic wood heaters. They've got them out there at Wright Brothers. You know, you fire them up not over twice a day in the coldest weather, and they really stretch that wood, don't they, Seth?
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about?
They hold fire for 8 or 10 hours with not even batting an eye.
Yeah.
You see them out at Wright Brothers. Wright Brothers General Merchandise in Calwood, Missouri, Highway Z, right there at the crossroads. 2 fine old boys. Now, this fella's been playing such a fine 5-string banjo in the background, we'd like to bring him up to the microphone right about now and let him do a song for us. John, step up and how about doing one called I'm Just a Used to Be to You.
Those cold kisses that you gave me, little darling, prove to me you found somebody new. Tomorrow's just another lonesome day. I wish you hadn't gone so far away. Hey, you don't love me anymore, my little darling. I'm just used to be to you. Just another lonesome day.
Oh, yeah.
I wish you hadn't gone so far away. Hey, you don't love me anymore, my little darling. I'm just who used to be to you.
Oh, righty, John. I'm just a used to be to you, real fine. Now, speaking of something real fine, and that's Dymeke Ford Sales of Centralia, Missouri, right there on the square. If you're looking for a brand spanking new Ford automobile, a brand spanking new Ford truck, a used truck, or a used car, you go up to Dymeke Ford Sales. Grab old Joe by the collar. I tell you what, come up here a minute, Seth. Come up here a minute. We want to put on a little demonstration here.
Well, don't get me.
You've got a big collar on. See, here's what you do, you see. You walk up there and you grab old Joe by the collar and say, "Hey, Joe, come here.
Out there. Yeah.
I want to buy a new car, see?" And old Joe will say, "What kind of car do you want?" You say, "Well, I want a Ford, of course. I want the best, and I want the best deal and the best price, best trade-in."
Sure.
Well, Joe will say, "Well, you came to the right place." You kind of scare him a little bit there, see? Oh, he's pretty frightened. They call him Speedy. He had the wind knocked out of his sails here a while back. So but he's right in there on trading cars, see? And they got a fellow up there by the name of Bob Dawson, too, that is the chief salesman, the head salesman up there. He sells heads and arms, he sells Fords, and trucks and all that. So if Joe's not there, you talk to Bob Dawson to get the best deal on your new Ford or your used car, whatever make or model you might want. Joe has a big stock. Now, and incidentally, if you have service work to be done on your car, wintertime is fast approaching. Seth's got on his long underwear, and they're red, too, by golly.
Yeah.
Time now to think about getting your car ready for winter.
Right.
Have it tuned up, maybe plugs, points, and, you know, all that transmission grease change and oil change and all that. You go by at Dymeke Ford Sales in Centralia, have that work done. Dymeke Ford on the square in Centralia. See good buddy Joe or Bob Dawson, any of the gang. Dymeke Ford Sales in Centralia, Missouri. Now let's move right on down the line this morning. And let's see, we have a few minutes left. We'd like to bring our banjo picking friend who's visiting here today from down at, what's that little town in east Missouri he's from, Seth?
St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah, I knew that.
St. Louis.
Yeah, that's the one, that's the place. We'd like to feature him on this one called The Lonesome Road Blues. Seth wanted to quit right in the middle of that one. I'll tell you what he wanted to do. He wanted to go down and see Shorty
Yeah.
and see about buying this corn that he's done shucked all out this past week.
Yeah.
Turn around here.
I don't want to turn around. Them old boys is all in,
They're
you know.
not going to bother
I
you
don't know
now.
what they're going to do.
You know, down
You
at
don't
Shorty,
either.
Shorty's been so busy buying this corn, he hasn't even had time to fool with you this week, has he?
No, sir.
He told me you came down there.
Done
And
what?
he said that you came down there and he was so busy buying corn he didn't have hardly time to talk to you.
Right.
Just say hello,
Yeah.
Osborne, and glad to have you here and all that stuff.
See you. I'll go come back see you next week.
You know, with this drought we had around this part of the country, Shorty is still buying a lot of corn.
Oh, sure. We had a fire corn drop.
I'd like to think that we can attribute that to that Monsanto fertilizer sold by Shorty. You know that?
That's right.
Because when you put that Monsanto on that
love
corn, if you've got any kind of crop year at all, you're going to get a good corn crop.
Sure, you can't beat that stuff.
And you can't beat old Shorty to deal with either.
You're right, Ron.
He'll treat you fair and square, won't he?
Yes, he will.
If Shorty will tell you a bullfrog will pull a ton, you can put a harness on it.
Sure.
He'll
Right.
hitch him up,
That's right.
get him ready. Bet your
Put him
life.
right in the shade. to
That's
get the
W.A.
job.
Roots and Company.
Yeah, Tibbetts.
Down Tebbets.
Right.
Old Shorty.
Oh, George.
Go by and see him.
Yeah.
Get that Monsanto.
Tell him the Rooster Creek boys sent you down. Just sit him down there.
Get that Monsanto fertilizer down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Top dress those pastures too, friends, with the Monsanto fertilizer from W.A. Roots and Company down at Tebbets, Missouri. That's our fine friend, Mr. Shorty, down there. We have a little bit of time left here, and we had a tune scheduled on the program that we didn't get played, so since we do have a little time left and we don't want to work our guests too hard, they say don't ride a good horse to death, but by golly, we want to call on him to pick one. Les and Earl have an album out called The Foggy Mountain Banjo that this tune is in. You know, back when Daniel Boone was coming through the mountains, he cut through the Appalachians there in a gap called the Cumberland Gap. And that's been a very historic tourist place, you know, and everybody goes through there. In fact, the highways today go through there. Well, back in the old days, they wrote a song about it, and they called it the Cumberland Gap. And we'd like for Mr. John Hartford to pick that for us right now. Here's John and Coming Through the Cumberland Gap. Yes, sirree, coming through that Cumberland Gap. Here comes Seth now coming through the hen house. And that's it for another Saturday morning of country music. We do want to thank you for joining us here on the Rooster Creek Show this morning. And we want to extend a special thanks and an invitation to come back and see us anytime to a good buddy who records for Shannon Records down in St. Louis, Missouri, Mr. John Hartford on the 5-string banjo. John, it's been a pleasure having you with us this morning. Today's show was sent your way courtesy of Bumgardner Furniture, Highway 54 at the stoplight in Oz. Semo Rental Equipment Company of Fulton. Pulis Plumbing and Heating of Mexico. Wright Brothers General Merchandise of Calwood. Dymeke Ford Sales of Centralia. And W.A. Roots and Company of Tibbetts. Thanks now for joining us. Stay tuned for the news and fiddle it out now. Seth boy!